recording.
My name is Gavin Dalton and this is my presentation on labour regulations. I'm going to be talking about the comparisons and contrasts between the public and private sector, and the public sector I've chosen is RTE and the private sector is TV3. On pay, I went to Your Work, which gave me some information about what both sectors should be paid, and at the moment the minimum wage is $8.65 an hour, which is applicable to both private and public. The public sector have been earning a fifth more than the private sector in the past year, and that's due to bonuses as well as just a fixed wage. In both public and private sectors, employees generally aren't entitled to sick pay, but that doesn't mean you won't get it. It's completely up to the discretion of the employer and the contractual agreement. Usually in the public sector, and if you call in sick, you will get paid for it, but only for a certain amount of time until you will eventually require a doctor's note. Whereas in the private sector, if you call in sick, that's fine, you don't work, but you won't get paid for the days you miss. Although you may apply for illness benefit, which will cover you while you're out sick, but that's only if you have enough social insurance to cover you. Otherwise, you must get in contact with the Department of Social Protection representative, formerly known as the Community Welfare Officer. If you have an accident in work, however, you aren't entitled to sick pay, but you are able to apply for injury benefit. For pensions, working in the public sector, they are entitled to them, but working in the private sector, they aren't. However, at the discretion of the employer, private pension may be granted if both parties agree on it during the contract talks. But if that doesn't work, personal pensions may be applied for. I also used citizens information, and that's where I got some other information on sick pay and other benefits. For the unions, I looked up SIT2, and they represent both public and private sectors. It caters for virtually all levels, which would be full-time, part-time, and contract, etc. They break down the wages that are entitled to both parties, which they measure from the classes listed from A1 to D. So here you can see wages per week. What they're entitled to would be, if you're in the class A1, you're entitled to over €500 weekly, and then on downwards, if you're in A2, you get €325 or up to as far as 500, then over €200. For class A3, the could go as far as 325, and then for class B, you get over €127, and it can go as far as 200. And then class E members earning €127 a week or underpaid contributions at a rate or of €1 a week, and benefits will be paid on prepaid on a pro-rate basis. And then unemployed workers as well, they have a right to a trade union as well. Currently in the public sector, 80% will have one, and in the private sector 25% will only have, in the private sector will have one set up. Another website I went to for unions is I was looking at the labour regulations on International Labour Organization, and they'll give you more information on what unions will offer to both sectors. For the standards of work, they're normally pretty similar for both public and private sectors. Like RTE and TV3 must all use legal framework, which is just the legal content on that they're broadcasting, and this is subject to the Section 3 of the Broadcasting Authority Amendment Act in 1976. The authority must maintain public public service broadcasting on both television and radio, meaning they both provide a comprehensive amount of programmes that reflect cultural diversity of the whole of Ireland. They must cater for the community by showing programmes that entertain, educate, provide sport coverage, religious and cultural activities. They also must be unbiased, be accurate, show objectivity. The only contrast between RT and TV3 is that they must conduct their programmes through Irish in some way or another, and they must always maintain privacy of individuals. For health and safety, it's pretty self-explanatory. I went to IBEC and they have a list of guidelines that must be provided for both public and private sectors.